Radio powered by eastrologer.tv. I'm Ernesto, I'm your host, and we have Loretta here on the line. And we will be joining everybody momentarily for a morning of free live readings. We're really excited to be back with everybody here today. So, Loretta, can you hear me? Are you on the line with us right now?
I can. I am here.
Great. So now, I promised everybody we were going to have some big conversations about like metaphysical things and topics and things like that. So, Loretta, here's a question for you. What's the difference between fate and destiny? Is there a difference?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, fate is how you get there, destiny is where you're going to go. Fate is um, is how we express our free will, and destiny is set in stone. Now, so destiny is where you're going ultimately. If destiny is where you're going ultimately, fate is how you get there. Fate is what you use, like I just said, is your free will. So you have choice on how you get to your destiny. Multiple paths, many ways to get there. Fate is your choice in how you get to your ultimate destination. Is how you're going to go to destiny. Does that make sense?
It does, yes. So then, what about those people who say that we create our own destiny? Is that true?
Um, we can we can manifest an end result by what we do, but it's still what we're ultimately supposed to do. It's where we're going to go. The destiny part is set in stone. That is what we are. Um, let's see. That is what we've created before we got here. What we set in motion before we got here. The reason we come into this dimension in physical carnation is to experience the destiny that we set in motion. So, no, we can manifest destiny, which means we can think about something and then ultimately that happens, but that's not the end result. The destiny that we can't change is what the end result is. Basically, when we die is where that end result comes in. So, yes, people can create their own destiny in a short term manner. That's still termed fate. But the end result, no, that can't be orchestrated from this level.
Well, and then you could even argue that to a certain extent, that there really is no destiny, that it was all fated to begin with, way back in the ethers.
Well, well, sort of, but there is an end. There is a let's see. There is a point to us being here that we create before we get here. So there is a reason we're here. That there is a point. So that isn't something that we change once we're here, but we definitely created it before we got here.
So that whole
Does that
thing
make
that like we can kind of create the destiny or the reality that we want based on our own actions. Like I want to be an astronaut. Is that true? Can I really do that?
Well, the reality of it is you've already set in motion. Like I said, before you get here, you already put in place where you're headed. So the fate part is to, and we don't know that. So yeah, when we get here, we may think, yes, I want to be an astronaut, which is exactly what you're supposed to think because you're headed to that. You're headed to that arena. So yeah, people can pretend that they have control over it all they want, but the reality of it is the aspect's already been established before we ever got here.
Well, that's all. See, and this is an important distinction. Like we're society and the whole like woke movement gaslights us to believe that if you don't like what you have, you can just create it. You can make it happen. Like I'm gonna do the whole eat, pray, love thing. I'm gonna drop everything that I'm doing right now, and I'm gonna go get a PhD in astrophysics, and then I'm gonna become an astronaut because that's what I really, really want to do. Not at all considering the physical limitations of my own body. That that this probably isn't a great idea. That if I did something like that, I may not even qualify for like the job description or limit or requirements physically. But I'm gonna go and do it anyway because you said that I can, and everything is possible. So I'm gonna get all this knowledge, and then really break down and have a mental collapse and go crazy when I'm hitting all of these barriers at the end of the road because I'm doing this thing that I was never meant to do to begin with.
But there you see, you don't know what you'll be learning along the way. And you don't know that eventually at some point you may succeed. They need to change the program. So analytically, we can beat ourselves up for our choices all the way and still succeed or not. But what we're learning along the way is what is important. And see, there's the destiny and the fate. In the fate, we are learning along the way to destiny. The fate is our control. The fate is what we see. So if we're capable of thinking we can and we want to, most likely, even though we have obstacles, we can succeed. It just isn't exactly the way we thought it would be.
It really is. So that's something that I want everybody to just sort of keep in mind is that whenever you're doing something in life, whenever you're set down a particular path for yourself, and everything is obstacles and red flags, and it's just not working out, maybe that's a sign that you need to look inward and really think hard if this is something that truly needs to happen. If this is something that, maybe you're just barking up the wrong tree here because when you're getting that much resistance to the course that you've set for yourself, which was probably a pretty big diversion from where you began, because you just kind of decided, I'm going to go and do this eat, pray, love thing, right? Like, I'm going to go and be an astronaut, one of those kinds of things. Then that's where you really you have to look inward and ask yourself if this is really that important because the universe is literally saying this isn't for you. Like maybe you should just pay attention. So that's just an easy way to kind of pick up on mental distress in the world, or to save on mental distress is learn when to cut the cord and walk away from all of these things when it's just telling you no.
Yeah. And that's the truth too, because we don't always pick up on those signs that maybe we are not in a good place. So, you do have to be aware. You have to wake up a little enough to be alert to see what's going on around you. And so the other part to that point, though, is if you're really stubborn, like, no, I'm going to succeed. I'm going to do whatever I need to no matter what. It's the individual's journey in what they want to discover, what they want to learn, what they want to receive out of being stubborn. But it works out the way it's supposed to. We've already destined and predestined our self before we get here to understand, what we're going to need to learn and how it's going to need to be delivered, and that it may not be a stellar example of wonderful, loving experiences. We have to go through the bad stuff too. So, destiny is in stone. I mean, the end result destiny. When you die, destiny is in stone. Fate is how you get there. That's your free will.
And on that note, we're going to get off to our phone lines today and start taking our calls. We're going to catch up with Becky, who is number one here in our queue. Becky, here on the line. Are you there with us? Can you hear me, Becky?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning.
Perfect. All right. And I got your chart up now. Becky, I spoke to you not too long ago now. Did you have a specific question for me, or did you want a general reading this morning?
So just kind of a general reading as to what is to happen in the next few weeks. And I also wanted to let you guys know that I think I was on a couple Sundays ago, And everything that had transpired in my reading and my chart all did happen. Every bit of it happened. And now I'm on that final date, which is tomorrow. And the 10 days happened, Beretta, that you told me that would be completely silent. It is completely silent. And everything that happened within my chart those few weeks ago all did come true. So kudos to both of you.
Okay, then. Great. So that's great to hear. Now, Becky, what was your question for this morning? What did you want to talk about?
So I wanted to just kind of get a general as to the situation with my friend and I as to where it's going to go starting tomorrow through, say, the 15th of September.
Okay, all right, great. And Retta, what do you have?
All right, let's see. I feel pretty strong. There's a pretty good indication he's reaching out to you tomorrow. However, it may not be the news you want to hear, so be open-minded about what you receive. Be open-minded about what you receive. Don't hear what you hear as the end result. Just hear it as a moment of whatever it may be and move past it. Don't respond to it, okay? Don't freak out. Don't get mad. Don't respond to it. Just hear it as a, I don't know, a lesson, a warning, a learning, I don't know. Just hear it. Don't respond to it. And because you don't know, he may be coerced, he may not be alone, there may be things going on in the background that you just don't know what's going on the phone. He may be being told to do that at gunpoint, okay? So just don't respond to it.
Okay.
Tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So then you may go silent again until Friday. And Tuesday and Wednesday, your emotions vacillate from yippee, I heard from him, to what the hell, to what the F, to crying. And by Friday, you're pissed off. So, again, just chill and don't hear him with anything other than listening ears. Just listen. Just hear what he's saying. Don't respond. Don't do the what about me. Don't do the you didn't do it, shame on you. Don't do that. Just listen.
Okay.
So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's something happening Saturday and Sunday. The energy's off. It's unsettled. Something's up. Now, it doesn't feel on your end like you're experiencing negative thoughts, but just hear me say the energy's unsettled. Saturday and Sunday. Monday, you have some type of directive. You have some kind of energy or information sets you off into a working frenzy to get things done. Maybe that's to distract yourself, but you're working. Okay. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're done. What's the date? What's Wednesday's date?
Wednesday, this next week or the following?
I don't know, whatever day we're on.
The 31st.
So Wednesday would be the 31st and the following would be the 7th.
Okay, so the 31st, I see a lot of movement on that day. And there's a lot of gray involved in that movement, so people have to make decisions before I kind of know what direction they're on. And they're emotionally not invested in making those decisions. I mean, that's really not what they want to do, but they have to. So there's a lot of movement on that day.
But that doesn't refer to me, correct?
Pardon?
That doesn't refer to me, or it does?
No. not
Okay.
to you.
Mm-hmm.
Although it'll affect you, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can't go past that. So whatever happens then can determine more, but I can't go past that.
Okay.
All right, now let me back up and do this in a different manner. Let's get you to here. Get me back up the calendar. Here. Becky. There we go.
Brett, remember you said that something majorly was going. Well, so did Ernesto, and I felt it too on the 29th.
Okay, well, what was the what? So 31st is a Wednesday, so that would have been a Monday. Yeah, that's the day you're going to have direction, I believe I said. But just go on the energy that you're feeling at the time, and we'll hear a little more from Ernesto. Maybe he can give us a little more. But I'm not really getting a lot of change in your activity or behavior until the 29th. Yeah, see, and there's a lot of movement, so you'll have to just wait. You're just going to have to be patient. Okay, well, I know that's maybe not your forte, but... All right, Ernesto.
I'm trying.
I know it. Ernesto?
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you. So, what's interesting was when you guys were talking about something around the 29th. You know how they always say sneeze on the truth? I was trying so hard, and I actually had to turn off my mic for a second just to prevent a sneeze from happening. So, there, just to let you know that when you said around the 29th that I was about to sneeze. So if you want to go with sneeze on the truth, if you believe in superstition at all, there might be something to that. So I just thought I would throw that in there.
I hadn't even heard about that one. That's cool.
Wow, I taught you something new. So,
yeah.
let me look here. I'm just trying to set this up. Okay, we'll do like that. Okay, got it. So I'm setting up your chart for conversations. That's really sort of what we're looking at. And I asked 3 separate questions about conversations, and this will tell me a little bit more, sort of what's going on about the nature of what would happen in a conversation like that. And you said it was tomorrow, right? That you were, or like Monday, that you were thinking that this would happen, right?
Is
Becky?
that the 29th?
Yeah, that would be the 29th. Yes, Ernesto. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that will be tomorrow. So let me look here then. So,
that's tomorrow?
Yeah, it's tomorrow. Today's day 9.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I think there's, he's really gonna try, there's gonna be like an attempt, like to try to get back with you, to get back and like whether if this is all made up or I don't know if it's totally made up or if it's sort of just, some type of like, pining to your soul to make it seem like that I'm going to come back because it's going to speak to all this warm, fuzzy, emotional stuff that I've been wanting for so long. That's how they try to get in, but they're going to try, to get back with you. And I don't think you're going to take it, because that there's all of this other red tape that's associated with that situation that I think you've just kind of realized, okay, I don't think I want to do that because that could end very badly. Maybe on an alternate timeline, in a different universe, this could kind of work. But, in the context of this moment where we are right now, there's just too much at stake and, mentally it's just too distressing. So I'm going to focus on myself because that's all I can do.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think if he reaches out to, he's not going to really know what to say to me. But if he does, I think that it would be, he wants to know that I'm I'm still there, if that makes sense.
Right.
That I'm still there when and if.
Right, meaning that like that you're going to come back with open arms, and that it's all going to be okay, and that kind of thing, that he can basically use you again, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the lack of a better term, without being so blunt, but that's really what he's doing it for, is, like, because remember that this guy has been running this narrative with you for so many years, for so long, that it's really become a distressing situation, and you really have to look from, the perspective of his character, that, well, he really can't be a great person to be doing something like that, to run a show of this nature for so long, and that your emotions are being affected. And so, screw Becky. We don't care about Becky. We really don't. We care about me. I want to make sure that my needs are taken care of and that I'm safe. So I'm going to tell whatever lies I have to, so that way I can, get back in good again, because I like it that way. So that way I can have my cake and eat it too. That's kind of how that story works. From the other person's perspective, is just realizing that the horror of how difficult that is, that, oh my God, I can't believe that I'm putting up with this, but I really love this person, so I kind of have to put up with it, don't I? I'm not sure. So these are the conversations that this is your own internal dialogue, and it's just sort of the coming to terms with the shock that, how can people be so cruel? Like, that's just something that totally, you can't really get past, is how could you do this to me? Like, what would cause somebody to do this? That there's all these barriers that we can't be together. And so again, as like we were talking about at the beginning of the show, this is one of those things where you have to realize that, okay, I think I need to rip off the Band-Aid now and go back to what I know. And this is you focusing on your business, doing your travel stuff, and there's some really nice things that's happening with your business. And I think that, by shifting the focus off of this relationship, that it'll allow you to focus on your work and, do more things related to travel that I think you're really going to enjoy, so you can take some time off.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, well, Becky, it was
Thank
great
you
to
very
have you
much.
on the show, and we'll catch up with you real soon. Be sure to give us a call back and let us know how it turns out.
All right. Thank you.
Take care, and until next time. Okay, all right. So, Veretta, are you still there with me?
I am.
Okay, great. So, let me take a look here. We have quite a queue that's been building up. We hope to get to everybody this morning. So, what we're going to be we're going to get to our first caller here. We're going to get with Tonette over here from area code 610. Let me pull you up. I got you, Tonette. Are you on the line with me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, perfect. All right, so give me a moment to pull up your chart. Here.
Sure.
Okay, I got you. And now, Tonette, would you like a general reading today, or do you have a question about an issue?
I have a question. Actually, tomorrow is my birthday.
Okay, well, happy birthday to you. Great. So, what's your question?
Thank you. My question here is, I need to know if Christine is going to come forward here and make a serious commitment. She gave me a second ring, which is a sapphire ring, which was her deceased mother's, and she had given me a diamond ring of her mother's when we first met almost a year and a half ago. So I really need to know what is going to go on here in the next couple of months, if we're going to be living together, or if she's going to want to start talking about getting married.
Okay, all right. And what was this person's name again?
Christine.
Christine, got it. Okay, all right. Veretta, what do you think?
Yes.
Okay. So repeat your name for me. Your name for me.
Tonette.
Okay, Tonette. Christine. Let me grab you.
And then Tonette, one question, just so while I prepare this here for you. Now, is Christine, would you say that she is like a lover or a marriage partner?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right,
I
great.
mean, I would like marriage with her. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Great. Let me look at that.
All right, Tonette, what I'm getting. What I'm getting is that she wants to. This is not a commitment that she is trying not to have. Let's see. How do I put this? All right. Let me start just by saying the simple part first. And you probably know this, but I'll just spit it out loud. She has commitment issues. Now, it's not a phobia, it's an issue of understanding how to have a proper relationship. She can be very endearing. She can be very compassionate and generous and caring to someone, to a specific someone, if she cares about them. But she can also be very engineering. So, when I say that, Tonette, she knows what she does to solicit a response she wants to get. Does it necessarily mean that it's what the person or what just say if she's saying this to someone in regard to the future? Does she know what that person is going to think that comment is based on? Yes. But she has another explanation for her comment, should it ever come up. No, that's not what I meant. I meant, you assumed XYZ. Like I said, she's a very compassionate individual. You've got someone that could care about you a lot, but you're going to have to work like pulling teeth from a chicken to get them to show it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you're going to have, so what is this relationship on? First of all, let me back up on that too. You and Christine are contract individuals. Means there's something that you've come to this dimension to do, and you've asked each of you to respond at a time that you need something, and once you fill the contract and it's done, you no longer have to have this relationship with this person. Can you get out of the contract? No, it'll always be there. You can run, but you can't hide. Can, once you're undone, have a good relationship with her once the contract's finished? Yes, absolutely you can. Does it happen? No, not always. Because people hang on thinking, no, when we met there was a reason. Yeah, when you met there was a reason. Well, that reason's done, and so is the relationship. It's over. Move on. So you'll have to decide when this is all said and done what you're going to do about it. Now, having that been said, this is going to transpire over the next 2 or 3 weeks. 6 weeks out, however, is a very gray area. So you're going to have to, there's a lot of decisions that will have to be made at that time before any real decisive information can be given. So I can't go beyond that. And having that been said, I'm going to run it to Ernesto, and he'll probably give you some more detail.
Sure. So, Tona, I'm taking a look at your chart here. I'm marking some stuff up if you're watching our YouTube stream. So, what I'm seeing here is that you want to know if Christine, like what her deal is, why she's not being with you in this relationship, why, and Ferretti gave you this whole thing about that she's not, ready for a relationship like this. So all of the stuff that I've highlighted here on your chart, this is all speaking to, like the relationships, or the relationship with this person, someone that you love, and some of the difficulties, or like the the story behind what's going on between you two. And it looks like that this girl, Christine, that she reminds me of like me in a way. Like I'm somebody, I've never been in a relationship, and there's a good reason for that, because I don't have a lot of emotional experience. So you kind of have to beat me over the head when it comes to understanding things, matters of the heart. Like I'm kind of brusque, and that's hard for a lot of people. So I get the sense that this person that you're wanting to be with, that they don't really have the emotional IQ to be able to process a lot of what you want to happen, what the niceties, and the social types of things that you'd like to see, as far as like attention and priority are concerned, to be in a relationship, or to have some of that affection and see those signs. I don't think that you're necessarily getting that from this person, and I'm not really sure if they're capable of it either. Like you would almost have to give them a course in this and walk them along the way and say, hey, these are the things that I like. Let me take you shopping. Let's go, and these are the things that I like, and here's what you can buy for me. Just basically tell them, like if I was in a relationship with myself, this is what I would do. And I just think that you kind of have to approach it from that perspective. So there is so much work that would have to be done if you would want something like this. And I do think that the potential is definitely there, and you'll be having some conversations about maybe possibly doing something like this, perhaps to an extent that this other person that you would have to pitch it like, hey, let me be your coach, like, and teach you how to go out with somebody, because I want to go out with you, but you obviously can't pick up on it, so let me teach you how to do that. It almost sounds like a bad Lifetime movie of the week, to be totally honest, but it's something along those lines that I think that it would just take so much work that I'm not really sure that you have it in you, Tonette, yourself, to be able to get something like this to go on.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I think don't understand why she would give me her mother's brains. It's just really, I don't know.
Because she may want to. The inclination may be there for her to want to have a relationship, but she just doesn't know how to. She just literally is immature, I guess, if you want to say, in that department. Mm-hmm. And you know well that you've tried, with all due respect to everything, give her all the ample opportunity to show you that she could pick up cues, prompts, subtle innuendos. Well, that ain't happening. None of the subtle is going to take place. And that's kind of what, if you want her to do something, show her. If you want to know why she does something, ask her. Because ultimately she's going to do stuff that's going to baffle the crap out of you. You're never going to know why. But if you were to know why, you think, oh, well, that's kind of cool. But, no, that's not what I really would. Don't keep doing that, because it's never going to get a result. I'm not going to do that. So ask her. Ask her what she's doing. Ask her why she gave you the ring. Start getting specific, because these are the only ways to teach her how to be. And that's what you're going to do. And that's what Ernest was saying. He didn't know that he's got all that in you to teach her how to be a proper adult. Because that's basically what you'd be doing.
Right. Yeah. Last time I spoke to her, she was talking about, moving in together and living together. So I don't know what her next move is here. I mean, I don't know if she's going to show up at my doorstep. Who the heck knows?
Right. Well, and that's where I think you should ask that, because ultimately, in the long run, but see, the thing about that, though, is that she'll change. If you make her give you an answer, and she's spontaneous, and so when you live like that, you can't give somebody a concrete answer about something.
Right.
And the other thing too,
so you have to be.
is if they just show up randomly and this just kind of happens, you need to be careful yourself, Tonette, like that you're not bleeding money out the sides. Like this, I could see this becoming very expensive. Like this is either like, I don't want to say a high class escort, but we could say that let's chalk it up to this was a very expensive mistake, and I really didn't need to do that. So keep that in the back of your mind as well, as that if this is something that I'm going to do, then I need to set boundaries and limits for myself as far as like the pocketbook is concerned, because I could see that really spiraling out of control very fast.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, good luck.
Yeah, Tonette, it was great to have you on the
thank
show.
you.
Great to have you back. We haven't
Yes, thank
caught
you.
up with you in a while. Be sure to give us a call back in the future and let us know how it turns out.
I will. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Catch up with you soon. Take care.
You too.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Okay, and we are going to get off to our next caller here. We are going to catch up with Lisa from area code 520. It has been quite a while. Where did she go? Oh, Lisa is gone. So we are going to go to our next caller from area code 401. Yeah, right. Just kidding. Here we go. Area code 401. Hi, you're on the Uranus Happens Show. May I have your name and date of birth, please?
Hi, my name is Carrie,
Carrie? Okay, all right.
and my birthday is August 6th, 1985.
August 6th, 85. All right, you just had a birthday. Happy birthday.
I did, thank you.
And at what time were you born?
10:32.
10:32. Got it. And let's see, where were you born?
Warwick, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. Okay. And Carrie, would you like a general reading today, or do you have a question about an issue?
General's fine. I'm a first-time listener, so I'm glad I found your show today. Recently somebody else came into my life. I have their information too. It's just sort of in, the testing out stages, but I'm open to anything you may have.
Perfect. All right. Let's take a look at that, Veretta. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, Carrie. Well, welcome. Glad to have you. Let's see what
Hi.
we've got going on here. Okay. Well, ma'am, I can really get so when I tune into you, basically what I'm looking for is anything that pops out at me. So, I can give it to you in a general. When I tune into you specifically, I get a very calm, a very uniform energy. It says you kind of got your card together and you keep it together to the best of your ability. So, and you're pretty intuitive, even if you're not aware of that. You are intuitive enough that you can use it, and it's just difficult to use it for yourself. So, one of the things that it's easy to do is get input from total strangers, and that's kind of verifiable. So, in regard to another person, well, first of all, give me their first name.
Rick.
Okay. Okay, so he's doable. However, when I jet down the long run and I'm seeing future, I'm looking at you with your arms crossed, looking at him, going, "What the?" And it's like there. What would I say? The feeling, the emotion behind that was like intolerance of some type of behavior that he shows, or attitude, or belief, thought, idea, whatever, that shows he's a little bit immature when it comes to certain things. And honey, you're not. You're just not immature in any manner. And so what happens is you get intolerant, you get impatient, you get you get unimpressed. That's what you get, and you don't know. But all that aside, he'd be a great guy. He'll be a good partner. I can see you guys jetting around for a bit, here and there. But when it comes right down to it, I'm just not sure he's going to be doable. Now, does that mean no, don't do it, run on that one basis? No, because that's way down the line. And if you two are destined, and this is something that has to be or should be, then go ahead, kick on up and have a good time, and just no expectations, have a good experience, but don't really like sell the farm and invest everything you got on him.
Right. I've learned that in the past too. But yeah,
I know you have. I know you have. And with this one, see, that's why it's different, because most of the time when you ping a guy with your radar, you can feel him. You kind of know what the end result's going to be right away. But this guy was different, and there have been times when it's been different that you listened and you had a relationship. So ultimately, your psyche puts two and two together and says, "Oop, we didn't get a ping this time. Maybe he's different. Maybe he's one. Maybe we should just ask about this one because I can't get a feature on him." So this is where I'm saying, the validation of that's why you didn't get a radar return was because, yes, he is someone that you probably would benefit having a relationship with, so carry on. Now, having that been said, I'm going to run it to Ernesto because he's going to give you specifics.
Okay.
That will blow your mind.
Sure. So let me take a look here. So, Carrie, now this guy that you've been in a relationship, now in your past, is this your first relationship?
No. This person I just mentioned, I just recently crossed paths with about right before my birthday, about 2 weeks before my birthday.
Okay.
But I was in a relationship. I was in a difficult relationship for many years, and took some time out for myself, and again, kind of been doing my own thing. Wasn't looking for anything, and someone kind of showed up recently.
Now, the relationship that you're in, is everything sort of kittens and rainbows right now? Like it's just like the honeymoon phase. Everything's just kind of nice.
It's casual, and obviously he's a little bit older. I have his birth date. A little bit older than me, but timing is everything in life, and also it speaks volumes. It's not always on point. It's not always the right time, but we met for a reason. Our paths crossed for a reason, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, the thing that I get, when it comes to this relationship that you have, it's definitely something that's going to create some powerful changes for you. And I think that this is the direction that your soul is headed in, specifically because, this is part of, I think this is just like the human experience aspect of it, that, you're ready to just do this, that I'm ready to have, I've checked off all the things on my soul's bucket list that, now I'm ready to do this. If you want to do it from like a quote unquote normal perspective, that, people work in 8 to 5 and then they get married and then they have kids and then they buy vehicles and, and then a house and all this fancy stuff, like that type of, just average life, or what used to be attainable, not so much anymore. But, you're at the point now where you can say, I'm ready to be in love. I'm ready to have this experience. And now you're there, and I think that it's something that you're really needing. But the one thing I just want to let you know about, Carrie, is that just make sure that this guy really knows that the expectations are always clear and upfront, because I get the sense that that there's it can get confusing sometimes, that he may not necessarily always understand what makes you happy, or what pissed you off in a particular scenario, and that's unfortunate, because that could all be so avoided. And it, for you in particular, it's really distressing and it really affects you, but it's just a conversation that needs to be had, because otherwise, you're going to end up breaking up. That's going to cause a breakup in a relationship, and it would be pretty serious and unfortunate. So I think that, for him to have a little bit of a course of, hey, let me tell you what makes me, Carrie, happy, then I think once he gets that, then you guys will be golden.
Okay, that makes sense. And he's going through some of his own things right now. So again, he's in a different period of his life, and I'm where I'm at, and again, we met, and it's a great connection, but no expectations. So just seeing where it goes. There was somebody else that comes into my life that was a little bit more free, if that makes sense, because he's going through his own separation. and I've been there. I understand that. Just sometimes you have to cross your T's and dot your I's and make sure, you're ready and you're in a place where you're open to it. So,
Well, if it's
that makes
definitely if it's not this guy, which it very well may be, if it's somebody else, regardless of who it is, there's definitely probably going to be a move involved. That they're going to take you someplace. I don't know where this is going to be. If this is local, if this is going to be to another town, or even another state. But I'm pretty sure that they're going to be taking you someplace, and you got the period of knowing each other and dating. That's going to go from like 0 to playing house very quickly. So just so you're aware that that this is within the realm of possibilities. If it feels like it's going too fast, it's because it is, and that's because your soul wanted it that way.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Veretta, do you have something to add to that?
Well, just no, you're on point. You're saying, no, you're good.
Okay, all right, great. Well, see, Carrie, this is what we love about the show is that, what one of us picks up in one place, the other one can just validate that and take it to a totally different direction. That's even deeper than what we had before. It's really great. We love having everybody on the show here.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your time.
Yes, for sure. For sure. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share, and we'll catch up with you real soon.
Absolutely. Thanks. Have a great day.
Take care. Until next time.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay, and we are going to take our next call here in just a moment. But wow, okay, so that's not supposed to happen. But Veretta, something I wanted to tell you is I don't think I really say this often enough just because of how fast the show moves and we're always doing so many different things. But I just wanted to thank you so much for really coming in and doing this with me. I really appreciate having you on the show. I'm not sure if I tell you this enough at the end, we're so caught up in our own personal lives and what we're doing during the week that we just come here and meet, just like that. This is something that we do, and it's always great. So I'm just really tickled that you come and do this with me.
I really enjoy it. It's a highlight kind of my Sunday morning or any time we get together. It's a good break in my day. It picks things up for me. So I really enjoy it. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, I'm glad it's working out. It's such a fun experience compared to, doing anything by yourself. Just because it's nice to have a friend to do something with, especially when your friends actually know how to do something.
Right, and it feels like it's a warm situation. And for me, when I've done radio or shows in the past, it's kind of sometimes been a challenge to keep my energy up because who I'm dealing with is either a skeptic or they just really don't believe, or they've got a philosophy that is totally out the window. Well, I shouldn't say that. Their philosophy is just not my cup of tea. And, I'm very opinionated. I've been in this for 30 freaking years plus. And I'm not just a look at me material. I do the work because I believe in what's being done. So thank you for having me. I appreciate being able to express my views and have an outlet again. And this is just fun for me.
Yeah, well, we love having you, and we're gonna get off to our phones again and take some more calls here. So we're gonna catch up with Tamika here from area code 347. Hi, Tamika. Can you hear me? Are you on the show with us?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi.
This is Tamika, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I just wanted to make sure about that. So let me see here. Just pulling up your chart. Now, Tamika, you were born on May 26th. Is that right?
No, September the 3rd.
Okay, let me start this. So September 3rd. All right, got it. What year?
78.
And at what time were you born?
I've always heard sometime in the morning, like around 6:30, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. We don't know the exact time.
And you were born in Jamaica, right?
Yep.
Okay, I remember that part because our atlas is terrible and you actually were born someplace that we have in the atlas, so that's great. Now let me see here. In Kingston, got it. So, Tamika, did you have would you like a general today, or do you have a question about an issue?
Well, I have a question. I am going to be moving with my mom is selling the home that we live in, and I always wanted to move to Florida, but in the past couple of years, I had started to have a change of heart inside. I didn't really know if I wanted to go there. So now it turns out she's moving there to live closer to my older sister. So it's going to be me, my mom, my mother's husband, my stepfather in a home not far from my older sister down there. So I'm just wondering how you guys see this going for me, if it's going to be a disaster, me going and living down there with them in that state, if that state's not going to be a good move for me or not, or do you see me staying there, you see it being good?
Okay. All right. It'll be okay. It'll be what you need. It may not always be fun, but you can enjoy it. So there may be a little shuffle about where you'll settle. Do you have a place located already?
Yes, there's my mom has a home being built, but it's not going to be ready till like October. So we're going to have to stay with my older sister till it's built, and it's going to supposedly be done in like October. And it's like 15 minutes away from my older sister's house.
Okay, then it's your sister's house that I'm picking up a little bit of the strife. So just know that it'll be temporary. It'll be fun at first, but that'll quickly be over, and you'll need to adjust. Everybody's got to kind of be on their P's and Q's and best behavior. It'll be fun at first, so you'll have a good time. So the whole move in general, though, is, like I said, there'll be things that you want to get out, or maybe I didn't say it yet. You want to have a talk with everyone that you're moving in with, and just be sure they're on the same page of what the new place is going to be about, because everybody's going to assume we're going right back into the same schedule. Some of those things need to change, so this will be a good opportunity to make that happen. And you can get help. If this is about one person, then the other person or two people may be able to support you. So I think that overall, you're meant to go there. What for, I'm not sure. But it seems to me you can make everything that comes at you either a, oh, here we go again kind of thing, or, oh my God, I hate my life. Why does this always happen? And then just endure. And it feels to me like after a little bit of time, and that time is either already preset or dedicated by a commitment you set with yourself. Once this time is done, then it's over, and you're released from your obligation. You're out of there. So I think, and that's a few years. That's not like right away. That's years down the line, way down the line. So I will let Ernesto see what he can add to that and complement it.
Sure. So Tamika, the reason talking about the move, just getting up to even get out of town before you can even get there, something that you need to take care of is you got to address whatever remaining health issues you've kind of been leave either just kind of let fall by the wayside or you walked away from. But that's going to be what's going to get you out of the door. Like you can't leave Dodge until you take care of those health issues, because I'm going to tell you now that if you move to wherever it is you're going, the healthcare is going to be trash compared to the options that you have available today. So that's why you really want to jump on that ship and take care of those problems, because the access that you're going to have in the future, good luck getting what you have at this level again. Do you agree with that one, Veretta?
Yeah, just took care of a bunch of health issues.
Okay,
yeah.
So
there are definitely things that need to be wrapped up, and health is most definitely one of them. I do agree with that.
Yeah, so that's one of the first ones, and I think that Tamika, you getting out of town, that this is going to be something that I remember that, you've been a subscriber to the show for some time, since when we first started out, back in like 2019. And, you've kind of just been, you've really sort of had it with the city, I think, from what it sounded like, that you've just, needed to recharge yourself, that you're just so spent and exhausted from just, life and work and that whole grind that so many people go through every day, that, this is exactly what your soul ordered, that, you can actually get a chance to recharge your batteries, because that's really what you've been needing. Like all the health issues that you've been having is very simply because, you haven't had the time or the energy to take care of yourself. And now you're going to be given those opportunities. So you moving out of town, that's going to be, that's going to take you to a new place. And I do agree that, the sister is going to be, the biggest, I guess, resource in this whole process about, the potential of something like a move here, that they're going to be the person that you're going to be turning to the most in all of this.
She causes a lot of problems, and she's a lot of drama. She's annoying, and also her and my sister caused a lot of my issues that I have now growing up. That's why I had wanted to move there, but I wanted to move there and be independent. I didn't want to necessarily have to move there and be so close to them and have to stay with them. So because of the way work went for the last year and health issues, I'm not independent yet. I tried really hard, but it just hasn't happened. And I always wanted to move there, but I didn't want to move there close to them. I wanted to kind of love them from afar, and I'm just concerned about living so close to them again, because they both always just dismissed my feelings, never validated me. They both like to try to band together to undermine me, my mother and my sister. And then my mother's husband likes to have the spotlight. So it's like I'm worried about being stuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Like
you
that's
probably,
what I'm worried about.
If this is, you probably will in the beginning, at least, and it's going to seem, for the lack of it, and I'm sorry I have to use this term, it might seem a little bit confusing. Incestuous is going to be the word, like just a lack of boundaries is what it is. It's going to seem like toxic AF, you're going to have that feeling in the beginning for sure. There's no denying that you're probably going to, that you moving there, you're going to have to depend on them just for a little bit. And you're going to have to willingly inject yourself with poison, sorry to say. But it's going to be, again, about you it's learning the lesson. This is what it takes for me to have walls of iron, that I'm not bothered by any of this crap anymore. Because they're gonna do everything that they can to try to get into your head. Believe me, I just know this. And you're gonna have to rely on their goodwill, at least in the beginning, a little bit while you're getting set up. So, if you do it, good luck, and know that there is a little bit of risk involved, because you do have to, be back in touch with them again. But this too shall pass, and it's only for a little bit. I would say, like, you'll rip off the Band-Aid after no more than like 3 to 5 months.
And then what happens after 3 to 5 months?
Then after that, then you'll actually have the ability to be on your own. That you won't need them.
I look for work down there.
Yeah. So
what work do you see? Because I look for work down there, and it's like no work. I don't know what I'm going to be doing for work. I'm worried about money down
there. Are you a caregiver?
No.
That's what you'll get into.
Yeah.
You're going to do some type of home health.
Yep. No, I was getting that too immediately.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a shifting of your abilities, and you're gonna do like some type of like home health aid, or caregiver, like perhaps maybe even working in like a senior home. But it's gonna be some type of healthcare working, because that's your background, Tamika, and you're just gonna shift that knowledge into a different gear or mindset, and that's how you'll make your living. But the work that you're looking for it's just in that particular industry, it's too narrow for that location. So that's why something like Florida, the nature of the work that you do is going to change. So that'll have that's how you're going to be able to make it on your own, and that's why you're only going to have to rely on them for a little bit.
Do you
Have
see
you made some
anything?
commitments that block? Have you made
Go
some
ahead.
commitment that locks you into a time frame?
No.
Okay. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. So whenever this thing comes up that locks you into a specific time frame, that you have option of creating a deficit or reality around, which means you can control somehow a little bit of like timing of it. Like buying a new car, like you can pay it off early and make big payments, or you can have little payments and stretch it way out. Well, this is where the stretch it way out might be more appealing than the bang it out immediately and get it done. And you may be really seriously considering that because of everything you think you're dealing with. But I think it's okay. It's safer to do a shorter time frame commitment and bang it out than it is to endure more, down the way. So just be aware of that. Just be mindful of that.
Okay. Do you guys see anything in my life as far as relationship and like children and marriage?
Well, do we have time, Ernesto, to continue
Yeah, that's
on?
that's a totally separate inquiry from today. But what I can tell you, what I can see off the top is you moving. It's definitely the new. There will be new people in the environment, and you're gonna like them. They're gonna be of like mind. So that's what I can say for sure is that there will be. You won't be alone in this new environment. There will be new souls for you to interact with. So a relationship reading, that's completely different from what we've just talked about. But from what I can see off the top again, as far as that move is concerned, that there will be new friends in your life. So for sure, you won't be alone.
Yeah. You're starting, this is a whole new book for you. When once you leave where you're at, you're in a whole new ball game. You create your reality and direct the ending to some degree. So don't carry all your experiences from where you're at to Florida. Start clean. Start clear with a upbeat, hopeful, positive, yay, this is a new me. Once I'm out from underneath the suppression and I'm living on my own, yay. So you're good. You're fine. You'll have more. Yeah, definitely.
Tamika, I don't know if you remember from when you first came into the show, we told you a long time ago that you were headed into a new phase in life, and this is finally it. That you finally got there. You had to go endure, really going through the ringer, which is what's been going on, at least since COVID hit. And you've had to have those really kind of not great experiences. And now you're finally being presented with the opportunity to get out of the city, to start something completely new, something totally different. And just remember that don't be so locked into this idea or mindset that I have to do it the old way. I have to do it the old Tamika. That this is Tamika 2.0. You get to be the new version of yourself. So take everything about yourself and just to a different level. That's going to be the new life for you. And I think that you're really going to enjoy where things are headed coming up here in the future. Remember, your sisters will be just temporary, but they'll go away, and then you'll be off on your own.
I hope so, because she causes a lot of problems, and my mom changes around her. So it's just annoying, like I want to be able to enjoy life with my mother, but when my mother gets around here, she turns into baby brain, and she just follows my sister around because my sister has like the house and the job, and my sister wants nothing more than that because she's needy and she doesn't want to see my mother acknowledge me or validate me in any kind of way. My mother falls right into it. It's really just bad, and it's been that way since I was little. Now as a grown woman, I hate feeling the echoes of that still. Like I used to want to move there, but I never wanted to have to be dependent on them. So that's what I'm worried about, because they're not nice to me when they get together, and I have to live with them. So I am excited about the move. I was, but I also am worried about this being the environment I'm going to have to be in.
Mm-hmm. It's a valid concern, but Just keep telling yourself it's temporary, and this too shall pass. Don't get suckered into feeling like, don't lose sight into the bigger picture. Just
Remember,
keep hanging in there.
Nobody willingly injects themselves with poison for that long. Eventually, we do
Not
rip
without
ourselves
having
away.
problems.
Eventually, we do cut off the gangrenous wound, or at least I should hope so. And, Tamika, have like a plan B, before you leave the city, before you shut down this chapter of your life. Have, a friend or somebody, that you have just on the back burner, just in case it gets really awful and you need to jump ship. Then that, for your own, sanity's sake, so that way you're not a total prisoner of war and where you're headed.
Okay. I'll try.
Well, Tamika, it was great to have you on the show. Be sure to give us a call back in the future and let us know how it turns out.
Okay.
I'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Until next time. Okay, so we are going to take our next call here from, let's see here. This is going to be from Philson from area code 614. Hi, Philson. Are you on the air with us? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Great. So, perfect. Got you. Let me take a look here. Got your chart. So, perfect. Now, Philson, would you like a general reading today, or do you have a question about a specific issue?
I would like a reading that if you could tell me about any talents you see or anything that stands out to you about my chart, that would be good.
I'm sorry, what was that again?
If you see like any talents or gifts I have in my chart, if you could share those with me.
Okay, sure. All right, got it. Okay, Veretta?
And first, I'm going to have to ask you to repeat one more time what you said, because I'm having a hard time understanding you.
I was asking for like any talents or gifts I have.
Gifts, talents, abilities. Oh, okay. All right. Say your name for me out loud.
Wilson.
Okay, so I would say yes, in that your energy definitely suggests to me that you might, you most probably have healing properties or the ability to manipulate, move energy. And although you might want to have more of a charisma, with a psychic thing, it's included in that because you know what you feel. And so that's an empath ability. And that, and when I say feel, I mean other people's emotions that you're experiencing. But you can't wield that at will. You need to learn how to control that. So it comes and goes. It's not a consistent thing, the feelings of others. But the energy properties of always being able to control energy is a consistent thing. So if you've ever considered doing healing work, now would be the time to really jump into that if you haven't already. I would also say, because you're inclined to be psychic and you have that gift in those properties, you could develop your psychic ability as well and really kind of shine in that area to some degree. If you needed tools, prompts, whatever, that's fine, to complement, what you do. By that I mean if you want to use cards or runes or a pendulum or something other than your innate ability. But yes, you have abilities, and to some degree you can be very proficient at them. And so where some of them are concerned, you can definitely, that's what you're experiencing. You can't count on it because you can't control it. You don't know enough about it to control it. And the other things you don't know enough about to really, utilize them to their full potential and ability, unless it's a fluke. But those properties are always there. They're common. They're always there. So I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but that's what I'm picking up.
Yeah, all that resonates.
Ernesto, can you give her some more in that direction?
Sure. So, I mean, I'm just sort of lost. I mean, do you mean like hobbies as far as like I'd like to learn how to start drawing kind of thing?
Yeah. Anything that it's not like it has to be psychic, but it could be anything. If anything pops up at you.
Okay, sure. So let's take a look. So, okay, so like about there, we'll say a little more. Okay, so here's the question. If you're watching our YouTube stream, we're asking about something like hobbies in your chart. Just see where that lines up here. Now, I do agree that it's definitely spiritual in nature, and it's more than likely something that you'll make money from. Retta, do you get that sense that there's like a commerce, or like that there's an exchange of funds for something like this?
Yeah, it can be to look. Yeah, it can be if it's taken into that direction.
Right. So, I don't know if this is necessarily like psychic readings. I mean, it could be if you wanted to do something like that. If let's say you took some lessons about like how to be an intuitive psychic medium or something along those lines. That can bring in some positive energy, or some positive, I guess, money flow into your life. So I think that would be the type of thing that it would say here about hobbies. And the other thing too is that look for groups of people, like groups of people who are like like Reddit, like they have, I don't know how many different subreddits that are about people who have questions about whatever it is. And it's usually, like really crappy relationships, or, like really bad career advice, but one thing that can be said for sure is that you get what you pay for. Unfortunately, here on the air, that's not true, because what we do for you guys is obviously very good. But there's a whole bunch of people who go out onto these types of websites like Reddit or Facebook or wherever, like Facebook astrology groups, and you just kind of go out there and practice. So this could be something that you could do, is get into, like some conscious channeling practice, and like doing some writing for people, and like writing back some text responses to questions, if that's something that you might be into, and honing those skills. But I feel that groups of people are going to be where you're going to be able to practice the hobby at least, and that's going to be a chance for you to get out there. And I think that you'll be very good at it too. So that would be my advice as far as the hobbies are concerned.
Okay, thank you. That resonates.
Okay, was there something else?
I've
Or
been getting
is that
random. Go ahead. No, nothing else. I just wanted to share, like, I've been getting random things. Like, I would think something about somebody, and then after they told me like a couple things about their chart, and then the next day they get a promotion. It was that they're gonna, like, their work is gonna be very like important to them in life. It's things like that happen, and now I kind of know it's not a coincidence, if that makes sense. But yeah. Is what I'm saying making sense?
Mhm. Yep.
It does, yeah.
But
Okay.
so find people to help you develop and learn it. Understand what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, learn a craft and get good at it. Go pro or go home.
Okay. Okay. And when you were talking about the healing abilities and about moving energies, is that like Reiki, or is that what you're talking about?
Well, that's one form of it.
Okay. I'm just trying to understand. What are the other possible forms?
healing energy. You're capable of let's see. You could actually move things. So that would be a property of telekinesis. You can change its molecular structure and, like heat it up or cool it down, or you can, you could nurture the crap out of a plant and love it into living, whether it wanted to or not. It's just you have your sprite. Your sprite energy, you've got, and I know that's not going to make any difference to you, but you have the ability to make things happen. Excuse me?
I'm gonna Google sprite energy because I haven't heard of that before.
Okay. Well, and definitely hit me up later. Look my website up, and if you don't get any answers, hit me up later and ask me a question about that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, it was great to have you on the show, Phil. So we'll catch up with you real soon. Let us know how it turns out.
Okay. Thank you.
Take care, and until next time. Okay, so we are going to get to our next caller here. We're going to get off on the phones to Dion here from area code 630. Hi, Dion. Are you on the line with me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Thanks for taking my call.
Perfect. All right, I got you up here. Now, Dion, would you like a general today, or do you have a question about an issue?
Well, I have a question about I call your show because you both have very good energy, and just even listening to the show for me just makes my day. And then in the beginning of the show, you were talking about fate and destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so one time I was talking to this lady, and she was into psychics and metaphysics, and she said that her theory is that we already know what's going to happen, but we forget it, right? So when somebody gets a reading, it's because we don't know, we can't see the road ahead, but somebody else is telling us what's ahead because it's already happened. So it's kind of like a reader is reading the past.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And what she was referring to was in the area and Department of Quantum Physics. And so that also subscribes to the theory that everything, multiple dimensions, all universes, when you think about the reincarnation, people think it's lineal, one after the other. And the reality of it is everything's happening all together. So a psychic is tuning in on that energy, that collective information that's stored already, if you will, a collective consciousness. It's stored already. And so, yeah, it is the past. Because if you have Akashic Records that can tell you everything that has happened and are going to happen, then you pretty much know then it's a system of some sort that's in place that you're tapping into. Mm-hmm. Did I lose you with that one?
So when somebody gets a reading, it's because they don't have their own clarity at that point, right?
Or they need validation. It may not be that they don't have clarity. It just may mean that they need validation. A lot of times when I'm reading, and over the years, I've given people what they knew. They just didn't know how to know it was right. And so I cleared that up for them. Now, the other thing about readings, when you are tapping into that consciousness that's stored, and you're telling people what they want to know in regard to things that happen, that very well changes and can ultimately change everything in regard to that person's original contract, because you've just shared information that's stored with energy. Everything, every thought, everything that's manifested in our brain, that's energy. And so when we know something
we feel or think about it, and we change the outcome of what that energy input is all about. So now we not only know what the end result is going to be, we know we could have just effectively changed it. So it really could not actually happen that manner. See, and we're going into, like I said, quantum theory, and this is something that when you look at from an abject perspective, you can get into so many conversations about dimensions, relativity, all kinds of stuff. So she tapped into quantum theory. You probably felt what she was saying sounded right. So now you want to know more, because that, like I said, I opened so many windows of discussion, which are not always popular theory by a lot of folks, because they like to believe their systems are what all there is. They don't want to know that, well, just thinking about something can change it. That's not okay. So a lot of quantum theory is debatable and definitely raise conversation by all means. You opened a can of worms there.
So
I'll look into it. I just didn't know the official name of what that was called.
So, Dion, what's interesting about Uranian astrology is that we actually have a formula for karma, which is what we're looking at on the screen right now. So we, Hades, a planet that you hear me talk about a lot on this show. People always think it's gloom and doom. Well, actually, believe it or not, one of the positive sides of that planet is karma. Now, karma can be, positive or negative. It seems to have a negative stigma attached to it in Western culture, but remember that karma can also be a good thing. Like you can have good karma points by doing the right thing and choosing to take the high road. But that's just based on me and my actions right now in the moment. So but for the largest part, karma is an existential experience, meaning that we're probably not going to experience the positive or negative effects of our actions in this life, but in the next life, if we assume that the soul continues on after this life into the next one, then we'll probably definitely see those effects down in another timeline. So when we look at this question here in your chart right now about what is your karma right now, well, for you, we see all this stuff about moving, and there's a lot of movement and direction. So, on the last show that we had, you spoke something about, that you wanted to move to Florida, and we were telling you that that you got to do this, that this is the time, and according to your karma, and I even think I told you on a different show that you would be living around a lot of people. Well, now I think that time is definitely coming. That you're going to be living in like a hostel or some other type of situation that you're going to be around a lot of other people, and that's going to be coming up for you, and that time is now. So you spoke about moving on the last program, so I think that's interesting here that that we're starting to see that how this narrative is all coming together for you.
Oh no, I am still moving. My dog is stable now. Well, as stable as he can be. And I'm continuing on my journey. I really didn't have a question for you today, so thank you for reading what you have for me. I just really like the both of you, and I think you're extremely talented. So I was just listening and saying hi.
Oh, it was great to have you on the show, Dion.
I will keep you posted.
Yeah, let us know how it turns out.
I will keep you posted as I move forward. Okay, thank you.
For sure. We'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Until next time.
Okay.
Okay, and so we are going to get off to, let's see, Elizabeth here from area code 219. Hi, Elizabeth. Are you on the show? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, sure. Let me pull you up here. Just a second. Okay, got you. Now, Elizabeth, would you like a general reading today, or do you have a question about an issue?
I have a specific question. I'm just wondering when do things start turning around in my life for better? I mean, like I don't know how to say it, like things coming up, different situations, like I don't know, events or stuff like that, opportunities.
When does the situation get better?
Right.
Just in general. Okay.
Because I feel like I'm stuck right now.
Sure. Okay. All right. Got it. Loretta?
All right. Say your name again for me.
Elizabeth.
Did somebody give you crap about your name or
My name?
yeah, I've got somebody in spirit with a pretty strong, I don't know, feeling or giving me an example of you really standing your ground saying to somebody, I wanted to be called Elizabeth, don't call me something else. And I think it was a nickname you didn't appreciate. At any rate.
Yeah. Or no, my dad used to give me a nickname when I was a kid.
All right. I got to tell you, and Dad's passed, correct?
Excuse me?
Is Dad passed? Dad's passed, correct?
No, Dad's here. No, Dad's alive.
Really? All right. I've got an older male energy coming in from spirit that's telling me that you defyingly told people that you did not like being called a specific name. I assumed it was Dad, but apparently it's not. His Dad is still here. So, but the same token of this gentleman telling me that you didn't like being called something else is saying that you need to hear that things are going to be okay. And even though you don't know, let's see, even though you don't know what what you're going to get, what you need to provide for your future, dude, get your language straight. Okay. All right. So I made him go in. Okay. So let's just say that what he's trying to convey is that the coast is clear to create and do anything you want. If you want to have an opportunity at something that's coming up in the very near future and you're wondering if it would be worth your while, the answer is yes. Even if you don't get what you think you want to have out of it or need to have out of it, let's be clear. If you don't get the contract, if you don't get the job, if you don't get the whatever it is that you're really hoping for, or you're thinking you're going to get by going, don't set yourself up for failure because you're getting something. It's just not what you expect. So let's be clear. Yes, go, but don't set your expectations to think that if such a specific event doesn't happen, that it was a waste of your time. Because something will happen. It's not a waste of your time. It is an important expo or whatever this is. So whatever the event is that you'd like to see take place, it's a catalyst for you to, okay, so what is this? It's an important thing for you to go to this, whatever it is, or be a part of this, because it can set the tone for a lot more to come. And it can provide you the information that you're needing right now that might make life a whole lot simpler for you. So, engage, Scotty. Go for it. No expectations. Go for it. And you will have a good time, actually.
Okay.
So what do you want to do? What is this?
I really don't know. The only thing I have an interest in is volunteering for hospice.
Okay, go for it. Yep. That's my forte. So that's why they're so excited. All right. So I would say, honey, do not hesitate. Now, let's let Ernesto give you some more, because I'll bet you he can really generate some better ideas or another way to see why that's a good idea.
Okay, so Elizabeth, so we're asking the question of your chart about the situation. So the situation is defined by the planet Pluto, because that's going to be changes, and it specifically changes more in the external world, not stuff that happens inside of us. So, that changes out in the world, obviously that's going to have something to do with the situation, because regardless of where we are in the world or what's happening, any type of change is always going to affect what's happening in my personal environment and my own course of actions. So that would be the definition of the very definition of situation would be Pluto. So when we look at that in your chart here to see what's coming up, we have Mercury, Uranus, and then you also have this Admetos that shows up here on this directions ring here. And what's interesting about all of that is that, you guys are having a conversation about hospice, and this would be like spirit communication because Mercury is communication. Uranus is going to have to do with the future, and then Admetos has to do, when you put Uranus Admetos together, this is going to deal with, connections with spirits that are in the past, or like that are in the beyond. So in the ethers. So, this is, hospice care. And I think that you would really benefit right now at this time from perhaps taking some lessons about, like opening yourself up to spirit communication. If you haven't done this already, if this isn't already something that's already in your toolbox, this is something that, you need to be working on because, that transition to create a new situation change for you is going to be totally dependent on your ability to communicate with spirits in the beyond. Veretta, do you agree with that?
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes. Well, it's not just spirit, but it's also understanding the process of dying, of course, the spirit letting go, and why we transition. So, yeah, I would definitely agree. Get yourself into a nice practice of meditation. Find a place to go that will give you some reinforcement with that because it's good caregiver relief. You're going to need to know all kinds of things about burnout and everything else. But the reality of it is it's worth the effort in learning how to do it right so you don't go in with a lot of deficit. And there can be some when you're working with hospice.
Okay.
So that Elizabeth, I think that's going to be the new direction that you're really looking for. So, and Veretta does coach people privately if you're at all interested in learning about some of those spirit communication techniques. That's kind of like a different course of subject material that you really kind of can't get in most traditional like secular places. So you kind of have to seek out somebody who specializes in that. And so that's something that we definitely can work with you on. If that's something that you'll need in the future, but that's something that you're really going to have to work on and take up and do some more reading about to sharpen those skills because these are all new. This is a new skill set that you're coming into here with this this new job, but I think it's really going to create the change that you're wanting and looking for in life, so it doesn't feel so stuck and just just yucky about everything.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Well, it was great to have you on the show, Elizabeth. Be sure to give us a call back and let us know how it turns out.
All right. Thanks.
We'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Until next time. Okay, and we are going to get off to, let me see here. Let's catch up. All right. We're going to go to area code 561. We have Stacy here on the line. Hi, Stacy. Can you hear us?
Yes. Thank you. Oh, wow. It was great hearing like some of those calls. I wanted to come in and say that I think that gal, that's a fresh start for her in Florida. I think that would be a definite move for her because she'd have closure. It would be a new beginning. She needed a new beginning.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and she'll be happy, palm trees and everything. She'll be happy. I definitely feel that. And with the other gal, Tanetta, I'll put my sense. I think she should, that the other gal, to make sure she's ready for a relationship with a woman, a full, loving relationship. I think she needs that answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because... it's only fair to her. It's only fair to her if she can get the all from her. Because, if not, she's got to move on to somebody that's really emotionally available.
I agree.
Anyway, speaking,
yes.
Yeah, because she sounds like a warm person that has a lot of love to give, and she's a giver.
and she needs somebody that's going to be there for her, that's ready to be in a relationship, full time with a woman, not like half in, half out. You know what I'm saying?
And I
So,
would love to rip open my wounds about relationships past that were all one-sided, but I don't want to get into that because that's just like, I'm over it now. I'm ready to move on. So, Stacy, hey, I have a question. I got your chart up on the screen here.
Yeah.
Do you have a question for us, or would you like a general reading today?
Yeah, I wanted to know when I'll be developing friendships or relationships. You see them coming in 2022, 23, because things have been stagnant. I haven't met anybody, and even every time I meet somebody, it's a stalemate. Like nobody puts an effort. I want them to make an effort. So that's what I'm saying. I need somebody to make that effort, because I'm willing to make the effort, but, I got to get a sign that they're very interested and they're not half it. I want somebody to be there.
Yeah, I understand.
To be there,
no worries.
because
let's take a look at that one. Retta, what you got?
Okay, relationships. Okay. There are opportunities for you to have relationships. The problem is what you're wanting from someone is the same thing they want from others. Therefore, you're both waiting for the same thing and you're missing each other. So,
exactly.
I would say the next time you find somebody that you really like, that you're interested in making more of a time for each other kind of relationship thing, that whether it's you making the first move or not, you need to really be very active in making this individual understand why it would be a good thing for you two to become partners in crime. Because they're exactly like you, and they don't take to people easily, and they are wisely very selective in who they have around them. Although you're more conscientious of how people work and you're not as worried about who they are other than in character, integrity, you may be missing the mark when you're looking for people in the places you're looking. So then you're going to say, well, where am I looking? Well, so you're expecting to find that kind of person that you want to be with in that kind of place, in a certain style of environment, thinking those are going to get you the caliber of people that you're thinking you want. You're missing your mark. Where do you want to look? You want to look in the metaphysical world. Go find something. Let's see, what would you benefit? Meditation. Holy cow. Get into a meditation group. That came pretty quick. Get into a meditation group, because that would get you the quickest opportunity to find the people that you would like that can appreciate you. And that's what you need, people that can appreciate who you are, what you have to offer. So find meditation, and I bet you'll find the place and the people that you like. Now, it may be something that you're going to have to look for to find the right group, because just because you're finding meditation doesn't mean you're going to find perfection. But I think at this point it's safe to say you might find a lot closer to the people that you'll want to be around in that kind of environment than where you're looking in now. So,
like yesterday I went to the beach, and there was, just people I was talking to, but they were like out of towners visiting a few women. But, they were really nice. I had a good time just being out there.
Yeah. All right.
And I'm
we'll
a Capricorn. Yeah, like my birthday's the day after Christmas. Do you know what zodiac sign you would recommend for me would be the best?
See,
That would I'm gonna definitely have to give that to Ernesto because that's not my thing.
yeah, so Stacy, we don't do that in Uranian astrology because everything is based on symmetry and there are so many different factors. So I mean, it's sort of like it would be unfortunate to say, that you would limit yourself to, a certain possibility out of, a section in a newspaper when there are, millions of people out there. So I mean, it really sort of depends. I mean, like they could have their sun sign may not be what what you would expect that will be a great fit with you in Western astrology, but then guess what, you have all of these other really beautiful relationship midpoints that line up, and then you think to yourself, okay, so I would have missed out on a really great partner if I ended up with this person who was a Leo here, and everybody said that that I should never be with somebody like that. See, that's why we don't do that. When I look at the question in your chart in particular, Stacy, about like relationships and friendships, we're looking at the midpoint of two different questions. We're looking at the midpoint of my friends, which is going to have to do with ascendant Venus. That's like your associations and your acquaintances, that are pleasant people that you would like go to the movies with. That's going to be an ascendant Venus relationship. And then meridian Venus, which is going to be like people that I love to be around. So, these are going to be like friends and families and members and, loved ones. We look at the midpoint of both of those questions. I'm looking here at Jupiter Chronos here by direction. So what I start to wonder then is, I think, Veretta, you may even be able to validate this. Do you feel that in the near future that Stacy is going to be meeting like a marriage partner here?
If it's not a marriage partner, it's a long-term buddy. Because I do feel the potential is absolutely there.
Yeah, and it's like a significant partnership. It's more than just a friend.
It's significant. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, the time is now, Stacy. So it's going to be coming up here pretty soon. And I think that as far as specific time frame, well, I would need some more time to break that one down. So you'd have to hire me for that. But what I can tell you here is that this is definitely the year that you're going to be meeting him. So between now and let's say, I want to say it now between and like by the beginning of the next summer of 2023, so like June, July 2023, you've already met this person. So you just got to get yourself out there, and you're doing that. So I'm really happy to hear that because I think the connections you're having right now, they're just not sticking. Like you're making the connections, but they're still walking away at the end of the day. Like I met somebody recently Go ahead.
Exactly. Like what happened was there was this guy that I was interested in. I didn't know if he was interested. It's like whatever, nothing happened. It was stalemate. And then what happened was he took a trip overseas, and the day he got back from vacation, the next day he died of a massive heart attack. So I felt oh my God. Yeah, I felt terrible, when we found out. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, I was, it was really upsetting to find out. That was like the beginning of summer, you know what I mean? And I was kind of interested in the fall. He didn't show, in the spring, he didn't show much interest. It's like, but, after a while, his friend says that he wanted to go out with me. And I'm like, like go out somewhere, but not like go out, but it seemed more like, I guess he needed a friend to go with somewhere, and it's like, it didn't happen. So, and then anyway, I gave him my number and he never called. And then all of a sudden I guess he went out of his way to go on a trip that was far away, hours on a plane. And then when he got back the day after, he died of a massive heart attack. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it felt bad because, here he's on a vacation to try to relax, and, this happened, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, and every other person that I liked, it's like, I would have interest, and I guess nobody would make the, court make the first move to go out. It's like they never asked, so I didn't just give my number to. But here, this one I gave my number to, but he never called. His friend said he wanted to go somewhere, but he never called. And I'm thinking, why doesn't anything happen? And this has been going on for like, even before the pandemic. I haven't dated in many years. So that's the story. Here I want to go out with somebody, and it's been so long. It's been like almost, oh gosh, I can't even remember. It's been like almost 10 years since I've gone out on a date.
I would go to the casino. I don't know why, but that's just something that I see in your chart, like that you might pick up some good karma from there. So like we were talking about karma, so that, and a good karma point in your case, Stacy, would be like in a relationship sense. So I could see you being in an environment with this person where there's people losing money, believe it or not, like of all things. So like that would be someplace that you would want, that I would go, that you could go fishing for, to meet people or to people watch or whatever you like to do. But it is coming.
Oh, I like that. So I like something like that too. I like the Machines Jackpot Party, and what's the other one? The Village People. Gosh, it's been a while since I've been to a casino. It's been, oh gosh, I can't even remember. A long time, way before the pandemic. Actually, it was on my birthday, and my mom won.
Yeah, you'll have to go and check it out. I know. Hey, Stacy, we're running short on time, so I got to get to the next callers in the queue. But it was great to have you on the show. Be sure to give us a call back and let us know how it turns out.
Oh, thanks. Thank you both so much.
It was great to have you. We'll catch up with you soon.
It was a blessing, and I love listening to everybody, and great. I love it. Thank you. I'll take that advice.
We'll appreciate you. Catch up with you soon. Take care. Until next time.
Thanks. Okay.
Okay, so we are going to take our next call from area code 267. Here we go. I believe, Jessica, are you on the line with us? Can you hear us?
I am, yes. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to do a general, whatever you see.
Okay, sure. I got you up. Veretta, go ahead. Take it away.
All right, Jessica. All right. Well, first thing I get is like this big bubble that kind of is that surrounds you. It's like stuck on a treadmill kind of thing, where it's a little bit oppressive because there's really no change in the scenery. There's plenty to do, so it's not like I'm sitting, but I feel like you have issue, and those obstacles are. It's just like a constant, and they weigh on you sometimes. So what am I getting? Your general would be, all right, so there's some kind of something popping up in your head about a house, either your house, a house, the house. There's a house in the future. So what is this about? This would be, I don't know if this is an investment property or if this is something that's money oriented, but we're going to say that this question for you would be wrapped around a potential opportunity at benefiting from the sale of a house on the market, maybe, or something to that degree. You have a lot of changes, but then a lot is staying the same. I feel like that's just your life, honey. A lot of things happen all the time, and you're constantly making change. You're constantly moving and adapting to the things that are coming at you, but some things just never change. Sometimes that's not a good thing, though. that can get a little old and boring. But just stay with the constant. I feel like I want to tell you right now, don't change the constant. Just keep adapting to the new things that come and go and the ebb and flow of life. But right now, stay the same with the constant if you can, to the best of your ability. So relationship potential. Let's go to that question, Ernesto. Sorry, I probably just screwed you in your calculation. Let's go to relationship outlook and how things would be if her relationship status was different.
In what capacity?
And in making a better environment for herself in a relationship, or having a good relationship. I'm not sure. That when I finally pinged that seemed to me to be more of a valid question for her. I don't know. Stacey, what? Okay, so Stacey, based on that.
Jessica.
Would you like more information?
No, Jessica,
Yes, Jessica.
by the way. Yeah, it's not Stacey.
Oh, Jessica. Sorry.
That was our last caller.
Jessica. Right.
Well, I'm thinking a lot, I've been feeling my partner coming in and connecting with him energetically for quite some time, but I feel like any day now I'm going to meet him. And also, I've really been calling in like my community, my tribe. That's been on my mind a lot. So I think really
that's coming.
Yeah, I feel it really strong. Like I feel like I'm part of creating a special community in my area.
Maybe Ernesto can give you some more on that.
About creating a community? Well, what I do get, Jessica, is that the relationship piece, that's definitely coming. Like that's imminent. Like this is probably, I would even say, by like the end of the year that this person should be in your life. Like this is all setting itself up here. And if it's not by the end of the year, then that's because you still have other things that you need to work on yourself. So what that means is, like you're still and you're still in a place in life where you're still kind of setting up for them, like you're still setting up and making room for them. So like, let's say that, like bringing home a new puppy or a new kitten, like that. The moment that you walk through the door with your new puppy, that you have the food and the bed and everything that they need to be able to, for you to be successful and to have a good time, so that they're taken care of. You're doing something similar like that, like making sure that your bed has 2 pillows on it, or making sure that everything is set up for 2. So that's where you are right now in life, as far as the relationship is concerned, is still addressing those questions about like when I meet this person, if I was just gonna invite him over and then we start our lives together right then and there, am I ready for that? And I think the answer is no. But you're beginning at a soul level, you're understanding that I need to make sure that the answer is yes. I need to be ready for that time because it's coming. And it definitely is. You've got this stuff. We're looking at the midpoint of Meridian Venus. That's to fall in love. And we see on that pointer here, we've got Kronos on one side on your natal ring. And then on the directions ring, it also is showing up on the opposite side. So you've got the same planets that are showing up 2 times. Now, we just need this to show up a 3rd time for this to actually be for you. And then that's going to be what makes that all come true. So this is just a matter of timing for that event. But yeah, this is the year where you're going to be meeting this person. And, like I would always joke that remember that when you go on, like, I don't know, Tinder or whatever dating website, and you swipe right, you're just swiping right because you're going to go out for coffee, right? It's not like to hop into bed and have this person's babies and then play house forever. That's not what we're asking for here. We're just trying to, be friendly and to get to know somebody. Remember that not everybody is things are not as they appear, or I forget all of those expressions that you hear about things not matching up with your expectations based on their looks. That's kind of where we're at in your situation. So I think that
like I'm taking care of like career and community first. I mean, it's really a career. I'm kind of like working on I feel like one of those dominoes, like if I kind of take care of the career thing, then it's like, okay, partner after that.
And I feel that your partner's probably going to get away in the beginning. Like you're going to meet them more than once. It's not going to stick. You'll meet them and then you'll realize after the fact, oh, that's what that was. And then they're going to come back to you. So I think it's going to be somewhat confusing. There's either going to be a sense of disappointment because it's sort of like, well, that wasn't at all what I had in mind. Or, like I thought this person would be a blonde, or I thought this person would be, X quality. That was what your ego's expectations were. And then you realize that, everything else is clicking and, it's all sparking the way that it really needs to. I think they are going to come back, and I do believe that it will be work related, and they'll be either older or somebody who's in like a superior management position to you. So there might be some lines that have to be crossed in the beginning that are going to seem a little bit awkward. So you might have to work through a situation for a period of time before it becomes okay. Like I don't work for this company anymore, so therefore I can date you now. Like that, it might be something like that. So, but it is coming. Go ahead.
As far as like the career thing, because I've been interviewing a couple different places, and like even tomorrow, I'm feeling very curious as far as like what's going to happen on my interview tomorrow. Like I don't know the full details about the job, but I feel like I want to say yes to the position.
I would say law or travel industries speak really strong here for you.
Is something like showing in the chart as far as like when the shift is going to happen, that I'm going to be in that career, that like the next step in the career?
Yeah, that's a separate analysis from what I'm looking at here. So I would have to run that on your chart, but you will be coming into a new job here, and I think that the scales are going to be tipping for the new chapter in your life. By the first of the year, you're going to have a lot more, if not all, of the information that you need to start making that life move forward.
Yeah, it feels like September is a big month for me. Like I've just been kind of resting the last couple of days, and like
agreed,
a lot of things have been for me.
Yeah, September is going to be big, so that do keep your eyes out for this one. I think that this month will be this coming month is going to have a lot of change and information that you've been looking for and waiting for. More importantly, you've been waiting for the shoe to drop for a while, and I think that time is finally coming.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, it was great to have you on the show, Jessica. Be sure to give us a call back and let us know how it turns out.
Okay. Will do. Thanks.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye. Okay. So we are going to close down the show today. Thank you so much to all of our callers. It was great. We will be back with you guys next Saturday at 3 p.m. for a 1-hour program. Unless if we do a pop-up shower between now and then. Stay tuned for that. For all other things Uranian Astrology, be sure to go out to eastrologer.net, and VerettaVision.com is how you can get a hold of Veretta. We do just have a small request. If you did receive a reading on the air today, please go out to our YouTube show and leave us a comment, some feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. It makes us really happy when we get that type of feedback about how you guys are responding to our work here. So, Veretta, as always, thank you so much for being on the air with me today, and we will see you guys on Saturday.
Take care. Have a good weekend. God bless.
Yep. Have a great week, everybody. We'll catch up with you next time. Take care, and until next time, good luck and good night.